Waste gases or emissions harm our health and pollute the air, but can they be repurposed? Today we explore how green technologies are transforming emissions into valuable product. Joining us today is Alexander Krajete from Krajete GmbH company. It's good to see you. Thank you for your time. How does nature-based approaches contribute to healing the climate? Take us through a bit about this one.
All right, so let me start with that one. As a company, we embedded a nature-inspired philosophy rather than a human-centered approach. We are developing industrial solutions with principles that are strictly derived from nature. And we believe that nature is the most important stakeholder and ally. And only nature offers low impact and long-term sustainable solutions. So we therefore carefully look at nature, learn, and then we apply all those learnings by merging solutions with existing technical knowledge. So this is a totally new way we can look at nature.
Okay, well, what's the basis of the work that you do and the company that you're building? Take us through a little bit about how you guys are cleaning this air pollution.
Yeah, at our company, we are using minerals and microorganisms simultaneously to capture and transform harmful gases. Our minerals are usually so-called zeolites. They are stone-like materials with lots of tiny pores where gases can bind and react. And our microorganisms are Archaea, meaning ancient microbes as old as 4 billion years that live in harsh living environments, for example, around volcanoes or at the bottom of the sea. And they are perfectly suited to neutralize those greenhouse gases. So we focus on valorizing greenhouse and emission gases like carbon dioxide and nitrogen oxide into useful products like methane and even diamonds and fertilizers. And in contrast to most other companies, we follow a holistic approach, meaning simultaneous or multi-gas capture. This means we are removing all pollutants at the same time, so our technology is embedded in a so-called circular economic process.
Okay, so taking something that is no longer needed, but turning it into something that needs to be, used better. Why is it important to recognize that CO2 is not the only danger in this area?
Yeah, this is a very good one. I mean, as you see, there is a lot of attention directed towards carbon dioxide already for a while. And CO2 dominates the media, obviously, but there is many other pollutants that are harmful for health and climate, and we somehow forgot about them. First, we have acidic components such as nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, and similar. They were all, popular or present during the 80s and 90s of the last millennium, causing acid rain. And they're still present, even though we managed to tackle those emissions somehow. There is also carbon monoxide, which is very toxic for humans, and it's totally underestimated as a byproduct of cold start of engines. We also have unburned hydrocarbons causing asthma and allergies, and particulate matter, not to forget, is also a major threat. So we must apply a holistic strategy to address all those emissions and not only CO2. So this is one of the key messages we would like to share, looking holistically at the whole spectrum of emission gases, and not only at CO2.
Yeah, don't just vilify one thing that's, polluting the air, but all of the things that are out there. What is the future potential, though, for valorization of waste gases? Walk us through a little bit about this just to finish.
I think there is huge potential in the valorization of emission gases if we change the way we are looking at waste or at emissions as such. So our vision is to inverse the role of all those pollutants I mentioned and turn waste into value, meaning waste becomes a resource or a feedstock rather than a byproduct. So addressing climate change is not only about removal or neutralizing gases, but it's also about product formation. And examples involve carbon dioxide capture with transformation into methane, chemicals, and other products, but also nitrogen oxide, for example, can be transferred into fertilizers. So the future we imagine is one where waste is not simply discarded, forgotten, but it's transformed. And by doing that, waste as such will disappear because it's embedded in a circular process. So this in turn demands a different mindset, totally different way of thinking, not linear, but circular. And interestingly, all these principles are in front of us and part of all ecosystems. We just need to use them.
I think that's very well said and a perfect space to leave our interview today. Alexander, if people want to find out more about this technology, the company that you're working with, where's the best place to go to do so?
I think visiting our website, www.krajete.com is the best way to get inspiration on everything I just said. There you can read a lot about our CO2 and NOx processes and the holistic approach we apply to implement advanced adsorption or multi-gas capture, as we call it.
Great stuff from you. And again, thank you for joining us on the program, talking us through exactly what's going on out there when it comes to repurposing these emissions into something positive. Thank you again.
Thank you a lot. Bye-bye.